Hello and welcome to episode 182 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And we are a Dungeons and Dragons social commentary podcast where we focus on the social aspects of D&D.
We give our advice to dungeon masters and players, old and new.
But most importantly, and more now than ever, we believe in creating a safe, inclusive, and welcoming space in the TTRPG community.
So if that sounds all right to you, welcome in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
How are we all doing?
How are we doing?
How are we all doing?
How are we doing?
It goes without saying, since the last time we've seen you, and the last time we filmed, a lot of things have changed.
Yes.
Especially for our American friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Words still fail me.
Yeah. Words, they don't really fail me. I'm not massively surprised, sadly. That's what happens when, a lack of education and liars, very convincing liars, collide. But I just want to let you know that no matter what happens, no matter what is said, no matter who says that you don't belong or you don't exist or your body, your rights, whatever it is, belongs to them, it doesn't mean it's true. Okay? It doesn't mean it's true. Now isn't the time for us to forget everything that we fought for in the last, however long. We've been fighting, people have been fighting for their rights to exist. People have been fighting for their rights to, just be treated as a human being for the longest time. That doesn't stop now. That amps up now. Okay? We don't hide away. We don't regress. We put on our best face and we go out there and we just fight. Okay? We always have done and we always will do, and we will continue to do it. I'm not scared of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's easy to be scared of them because they say a lot of stuff, but the moment that we let them win is the moment that we don't fight back.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I believe in you. I love you. We all belong. And whatever's going on in this world, whatever's going on, wherever you live, just know that you can turn your phone on, turn your PC on, turn your tablet on. You can come and join us on stream. You can come and join us on the podcast. You can come and join our Discord, and you will have somewhere to be that is safe, that is welcoming, that doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you look like, what you identify as. You belong here, and that'll never change. I don't care who sits in the White House. Doesn't bother me. Nothing changes here, okay? And nothing's going to change for you, I promise. They might try. They will try. God, they're going to try. But we just don't let them. We never have done. We're never going to let them. That's the point. We fight back. I don't mean going out on the streets and rioting and just fighting people. We just stand up for our right to exist. We stand up and we fight back. And that's what we always have done, and that's what we'll always continue to do.
Mm-hmm.
Here as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Thank you.
Well said. It's just devastating.
It is devastating, yeah.
It's just devastating.
It's devastating.
And well said. I'm sorry. I have honestly nothing else to add to that, because I'm so speechless, and it's it's just a collective feeling of it's just so much dread, which I think is safe to say, and it's okay. It's okay to want to take your time to grieve and take your time to lick those wounds, because my God, there are wounds.
Yeah, 100%.
Jack's right. Now we have to stick together more than we have done so far. And I know it's easy to say that here in this community,
100%.
because in this community we're extremely close. We care about each other very much. We're very, very diverse. We're very welcoming. We're very supporting. No one in this community judges another human being for anything outside of if they're being hateful and toxic.
Yeah, 100%.
Which unfortunately there is a lot of going on right now.
Yeah.
But
this is the thing. I need you to know that's been going on
For
this
forever.
entire time.
Yeah, forever.
That's been going on this entire time.
Yeah.
And just because some horrible old man who just completely goes against everything that we stand for in this podcast sits in a chair in an important building in a country means nothing. Doesn't mean that anything changes. All these people going around like, like spreading hate like they've always done, but they feel now, it's okay to do it. It's never been okay to do it. Just fight back. Just let them know that whatever you say, I don't care. I exist. I am here. I am who I am. You will never change that, no matter what you say, no matter the hate that you spew, no matter what you think is right. I exist, and you'll never stop that. Okay? I am important. I matter, and you will never change that, no matter what horrible thing you say. Because that's what they want.
Yeah.
They just want to say the most vile, wretched stuff to get a rise out of us. And I'll rise. I'll rise, and I'll fight back. But I'm not doing it because they've pissed me off. I'm doing it because we exist.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. Very, very well said. And love is stronger than hate. I know
100%.
it's so cliche, but it's true. Love is very much stronger than hate, especially right now. And the community that we've seen, the love that we've seen. So many of you are American, and so many of you are in our Discord. And the day that the election and results were announced, people were banding together and people were sitting in voice chats together, not to say anything, just to be together. And people are working out plans together. And just know that we've always been a safe space for you, and we always will be a safe space for you. That's never, ever, ever going to change.
Mm-hmm.
You are so welcome here, and you're valued here. And just know we're from across the world. We're in UK, but it affects us too because we care about you.
Yeah, 100%.
And just know the rest of the world stands with you, and the rest of the world is also devastated and mourning, and we cry with you when we feel your rage. We really do.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's
everyone around the world stands with you. Every single person. I saw just like a video on TikTok of just like women governments,
congresswoman,
and congresswomen and things like that, just being like, hey, this country, we stand with you. This country, we stand with you. This country, we stand for you. We'll fight for you. You exist.
Yeah.
It's your body, it's your right, no matter what anyone says. Look, some horrible old man in Parliament isn't going to change the fact that your body is your body, no matter what anyone says.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone tries to make you believe, it ain't true. It's your body, okay? They're going to try and scare the life out of you because that's what they want you to do. Because when you're scared, you're subservient. And when you're subservient, they can do what they want. But that's not what we're going to let them do. We never have done. And we never will do, okay?
Yeah. And it's okay. It's okay if you feel scared.
Yeah.
It's okay if you feel like you don't want to fight anymore. That's okay. But you have to. And just let people like us be the best allies that we can for you. And I'm sorry I can't meet you with the same I'm angry, but it's just really affected me.
Yeah.
Again, Rich coming from me, but just know that I very much agree with everything that Jack has said. Very, very, very much so. Words just fail me right now because it's just yeah. But just know that this is always going to be a safe space for you. Always, 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 always. And we're so sorry. And we'll do everything we can to take your mind off of it. We wanted to address it at the top of the episode, obviously, because it's important to us, and it's important for us to check in with you. But we are going to do our best to, I think not talking about it isn't the right way to go.
No, it's never been the way to go.
At the same time, it's okay to want to turn to things that bring you comfort.
Yeah, 100%.
It's okay to take your mind off of it.
Like, that's it. It's like we've always said. So we're not going to shy away from the hard topics, and it's one of the hardest right now to talk about. But at the same time, we're not just going to sit here and dwell on it for the whole episode. We're going to talk about TTRPGs. We're going to talk about some fun stuff and some silly stuff and some stuff like that, because we do want you to be able to come here, understand that it's going to be okay, and we're here for you. We're here for you here. We're here for you on our Discord. We're here for you on Twitch. Like, just come and hang out and just take your mind off it, because that's exactly what this content is supposed to be. But at the same time, we're never going to not talk about these
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Because
definitely.
these things are just too important.
Definitely. And I think I would like to end that on, if you're watching this and you voted for him, you are so not fucking welcome here.
Oh, no.
You are
not welcome here.
You have no idea what you've done. And if you have an idea what you've done, you are unforgivable.
Well, I'd like to add, you don't have any idea what you think you tried to do.
No, you have no idea. And I hope you get everything you deserve. I hope you get everything you wanted. And then when you see your country burning on the lives of women and trans people and people of color, I hope you sit on that throne of fucking nothing and you're proud of yourself. I really do. And you're so not welcome here.
No,
So
you're not welcome here.
I think that goes without saying. God, I need a second.
Yeah, take a second.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So just to finish that off,
Yes.
don't want to get back into it because I don't want to make Margaret emotional. If you voted for him, you don't belong here.
No.
If you think
No.
it's funny to comment down below that you voted for him, we're just going to delete it.
Yeah.
Don't think you're welcome here. You never will be.
No.
I don't say it in jest. I hate you and I do not want you here.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely. I completely
With
agree.
every fiber of my being, I do not want you to be here. So go away.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
And on other news...
Oh, gosh. So, gosh, with all of that out of the way, I hope you're hanging in there. And it's okay. It's okay if you're not, by the way. It's okay if you're not.
It's okay if you're not.
Oh, I hope outside of that, you're doing well. I hope you're finding things that bring you joy, because it's important right now. And I hope in any small way we can be there for you, and we can provide you with at least some entertainment to take your mind off of it.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
How are you?
Me, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. Look, I'm doing as well as I can be.
Yep.
You know, I've been thinking about it a lot recently.
Yep.
As you can probably tell.
Yep.
From the top of the episode. But at the same time, I think there's... God, not to get back into it. I think there's pivotal moments in history, and I think we're currently at one.
Yep.
And I think people think it's going to go a certain way. I don't.
I agree.
I don't.
Agree.
I think very, very soon,
Yep.
I think people are going to realize how much of a mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, look, we, over the last 10 years, we have become fighters.
Yeah.
That's been our job.
Yeah.
We have been people who have had to put up with hate in so many aspects of our lives. I know I'm saying this cis white man. I get it. I'm not talking about me. It's not about the communities that we sort of bring of trans people, of people of color, of queer people and things like that. Women. Fuck women. Like, especially right now. And I just think we have come so accustomed to this situation.
Yeah.
And we're ready to deal with it.
I agree.
We are ready to deal with it. We are ready to persevere.
Yeah.
We are ready to fight.
I agree.
We're ready.
I agree. Honestly, I do. I really, really do agree.
I'm telling you, we're ready.
I agree. There's positives in everything.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find them right now, but there's solidarity in community.
Yeah.
There's solidarity everywhere when you look for it and when you try to give it. So, well, try to pivot. We finished our D&D campaign. That's it. Over 37 sessions.
37 sessions, which includes the wrap up.
Yep.
And it was emotional.
It was
emotional.
It was emotional. It was once again a perfect ending.
Yeah, we said goodbye to our friend Wabs, who finished this campaign with us.
Yeah. 13 sessions he was with us for.
I know, yeah.
Which
13.
is wild. I didn't realize that it was that long at all. So we finished the campaign. We're not taking any time off. We're actually jumping straight into Matthew's doing like a one shot.
It's because we had 2 weeks in between the last session with the last like combat and stuff like that, and the wrap up session. So we had 2 weeks off there just from things happening.
Yeah.
And then we don't really want to be like, should we just take some more time off? So I think we're gonna do Matthew's, and then we might take a week or two off.
Yeah, Matthew's is gonna be like a 3-4 shot. He reckons.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be taking a little bit of time off. We're going to be filming the one shot that we're going to put up on YouTube.
Yes.
And then we're probably going to think about getting into the next campaign.
Yeah. Yeah, so very, very exciting times D&D wise, honestly. It was obviously it's sad saying goodbye to your characters, but if you didn't know, this campaign is the start of a continuous world.
Yeah.
We call it, what is it, the metaverse? It's not a metaverse.
No, it's just a continuous world. I will think of a name for the world.
Yeah.
And then we can call it,
Yeah. And
That Chronicles or something.
Yeah. And normally I dread the end of a campaign because I hate saying goodbye to my characters. It's really hard for me. But knowing that we're going to see them again and knowing that those characters will live on in the world and maybe live on in terms of like if our characters knew them or our characters were like, I don't know, affiliated with anything.
Yeah, in any way, yeah.
Like I think there's just give them a look.
No, I was looking at the audio. I was looking at the audio.
I feel I was very happy to let Blythe live the rest of her life.
Yeah.
How she's going to live it.
Well, the next 20 years.
Yeah, the next 20 years of her life, and it's a really nice feeling playing in a continuous world.
Yeah.
So a very exciting thing's coming. The next, gosh, when does this come out? The next campaign update is going to be the 26th of November.
Yeah.
For Patreon. Patreon, Moon Druids, and Entity Tiers, you get our monthly campaign updates. The next stream we're doing for them is the 26th of November. That is going to be everything. You're gonna catch up, finish the whole campaign with us on the 26th of November, and then between really then and when we start the next campaign, we'll try to get our friends on in between and just introduce them to you and talk about the next campaign and moving forward, which is very, very exciting.
Yeah.
So, talking about D&D, hey, we're a D&D podcast. We have some very, very, very exciting news.
You've got some really fun news.
We've got some really, really, really fun news. And again, I know it's hard. It's hard to feel excited. It's hard to feel joy without feeling guilty right now. But
I think we're allowed to.
Yeah.
I think we should. I think we need to. I think we need to just remind ourselves that it's not over.
No.
It's not over.
No.
And that's what they want us to do. That's what they want. And we're not going to give it to them.
Totally.
We're going to still enjoy the things that we love.
Totally.
And we're still going to get excited for the things that we're excited about
Yeah.
because they do not rule our lives. And
Yeah.
I will not let them.
And I think with grief, a core thing of grief is feeling that guilt of feeling guilty whenever you experience joy, whenever you feel joy. And it's okay to still enjoy things. It's okay to have something huge happen in your life and around you, but still be able to on a micro level enjoy things. It's and a macro level. It's okay. So very, very, very exciting news. If you joined us on stream on Friday, you probably have already seen this. We are having our very first guests.
Yeah, we are.
On the Podblast and on the stream.
They're not coming onto the podcast.
No, but on the Podblast.
As the Podblast, yeah.
We are very, very happy and want to warmly welcome our friends Dave and Raina from Careful Cantrip. Onto our stream on Sunday 24th.
Yeah, we've done 2 interviews. One was with Lich Plays and one was with Careful Cantrip.
Yes.
And we want to repay the favour because we love Dave and Raina. They're really great people. We get along with them really well.
Really well.
Like beyond just TTRPG enjoyment.
Yeah, as people, they're great people.
They're just good people. They're nice people. They believe in the same sort of things that we do.
Yep.
They believe, in people.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So we want to get them on and just hang out and stream and chat.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I think as well, like they are great TTRPG players.
No, well, absolutely. If you don't know, they have an actual
player.
They ran, I think, I don't know if it's 3 publicized, definitely 2 publicized campaigns, but they're an actual play. Dave is the DM. Raina plays Rune. Who is
now in this campaign.
Yeah, Rune right now. I'm sure you will have seen some of their clips
you'll
on
have
TikTok.
seen some of their clips on TikTok.
They're wonderful people, and Raina very kindly invited us onto their stream.
Fireside chat.
This is hopefully, if we enjoy it, the thing is, you know, I know we can talk to Dave and Raina literally forever.
About anything.
That's not
for
the
a long
issue.
time. Yeah.
It's just, are we going to enjoy the format of hosting?
Doing
essentially.
an interview,
yeah,
basically.
hosting essentially. And of course, it's down to what you guys enjoy as well. I see no reason as to why you wouldn't enjoy it. A lot of you already know Dave and Raina. You, especially on stream, you interact with Dave and Raina all the time. But yeah, this is us dipping our toes in, seeing how we feel with people that we know quite well, we trust. And if we enjoy it, please look forward to having more people on.
Yeah, 100%.
We definitely will.
We've got other guests in mind.
Yes,
we haven't reached
we
out
do.
to anybody yet. We're going to do this one later in this month on stream with Dave and Raina, because we know that if there's any chance that we're going to enjoy it, it'll be with them.
It's going to be with them, totally.
So we thought that's an absolute no-brainer at first, and then we can reach out to other people who we are already like great friends with, but we haven't had them on the stream.
Absolutely. So join us Sunday, the 24th of November.
Be here, be queer.
We will be having our very, very first guests on, Raina and Dave from Careful Cantrip. And thanks, guys, for wanting to come on.
Yeah, big time.
Thank you. And the last thing before we get into it is, as you know, we published DARKHEART, our very first TTRPG actual play. It was a 2-player D&D 2024 rules. It's on YouTube now. We originally did it live on Twitch. But there's been so much fan art that has come out
There's
of
been
it.
an insane amount of fan art.
Which is felt, by the way,
Yeah.
surreal and incredible at the same time. It's felt so good. So the first pieces I would like to show today are by Arcanian Toast, who actually, we have another piece that we're going to show you on Thursday. And Toast did Brienne and Isaac.
Yes.
And I just think they're neat.
Like, it was when we've gotten out before of Margaret's like characters and stuff like that, it's been like, I'm gonna be living with this character for a long time.
Yeah.
You guys have like taken moments of the campaign and stuff like that. This was one like
4-hour thing.
like hour thing, and you guys have the outpouring of art has been
unbelievable.
Insane.
Unbelievable. And just how you guys have captured both of these characters so incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like, truly, because before we started, the whole reason Jack only used a pit crew, and I literally like the day before and the day of got sent some art of Brienne based on my pit crew. I didn't want to rush an artist at the time that we finally got the art together of them. It was like 2 weeks beforehand, and I felt it was unfair to ask an artist
to do
in such a short amount of time.
In that time,
and yet here we are.
There's people who did art the same day the one shot was happening,
the same day of,
like in the stream,
which is fucking crazy.
Insane.
To be honest with you. So Arcanian Toast, thank you. And the next piece I would like to show you is by a wonderful mod, Paris.
Yeah.
I feel like, Paris, you are always drawing.
Always. Always drawing.
Paris, if you didn't know, is one of our mods, and also helped with the help of another mod, Sherry, to design our Twitch emotes as well. And Paris did once again Brienne and Isaac. In real life, paper and pen.
Yeah, paper and pen. Old school.
Old school, Paris.
Old school. Should have done it on a wall in a cave.
Thank you so much, Paris.
For all of the art.
Thank you so very much, all of you. And again, on Thursday, we have some more.
Yeah.
And the only last thing, two last things. Our Pride collection is live. We donate 10% of all proceeds to Heart Gables, which is a local LGBTQIA plus charity here that does a lot of work of integrating queer people into the workplace. They do a lot of training in the workplace. They're great, and it's something that we very strongly believe in.
Yeah,
and
especially right now. There's 37 designs of all different flags. It's just our logo. Take a look. Take a look. 10% of all proceeds go. Anything that you enjoy. And just know that someone who goes to a great place.
Yeah, and then the last thing I would like to talk about is, and I don't fucking want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear.
No, whatever, Margaret. Just before you start. Right, that's 26 minutes on the clock.
I don't fucking want to hear another person.
That's 26 minutes of us enjoying ourselves and talking about things
that
we care about.
Really important.
Talking about things that we care about.
Yeah.
Now, listen to me. If I hear anyone say, man, it took you a long time to get on topic.
You're waffling.
I don't give a fuck. Do you want to know who's sat on this settee doing this podcast? Me and her. Do you want to know who's not?
And him. And him.
You.
And him. Come on.
So when you're about to write that fucking snacky ass message about how we aren't big enough or people don't care enough, it's like
you have no idea.
You have no
you have
idea.
No idea.
We
have no
have
fucking
put
idea.
ourselves front and center on this podcast since day one. That's why we are where we are right now. That's why, yes, we may not have the biggest community, but we are able to do
have an incredible
so much
community.
because they care about us. And we're never going to stop doing that. Your shite, snarky little comment ain't going to change that. Just letting you know.
And the thing is, I would understand more if we didn't have timestamps.
There's
So you could
timestamps
literally
down below.
So you could I would understand it more genuinely. Back in the day when we didn't have timestamps, I understood it more.
Yeah, I get it.
But hey,
Shut
shut up.
We make sure we find out exactly where the topic starts so you can skip right to that part if you don't care about this part. But the fact that it's there and you still whinge, what do you want from this world?
Shut up. I don't want to hear it.
I
don't want to hear it.
Up.
I want to talk to my friends as much as I want.
Off.
Yeah, I want to talk. I'm going to talk about whatever I want, actually. And
literally
you know what?
Anything.
You can too. You can too.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about is on Thursday, we're doing a slightly different video.
Yeah.
I mentioned, I don't know, I think maybe last Thursday's video.
It was Thursday.
I mentioned that we wanted to do some slightly different type of content. It's still going to be podcast format, but it's going to be talking about an actual topic as opposed to reactionary content. The topic is going to be is D&D 2024 moving in the right direction, and we've got a lot of different points.
Yeah.
And
mechanically, socially, just the
for
rhetoric
DMs,
around
for players,
D&D, just where the community's moved, all that sort of good stuff. It's really exciting.
So let us know if you enjoy that.
Yeah, and tune in and see what you think.
I've made a channel on Discord for I think I've just called it like video surveys, because some of the topics that we've got coming up, I would really appreciate your input. It's basically just asking like, have you experienced this? What are your thoughts on this? Basic kind of video essay type questions. So keep an eye on that. We would really love your input because we'd still like to involve you, even if we're not reacting directly to like a story, for example. And that's it.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah. We're ready to go, baby. Thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams,
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
All right. So today we are doing. Sorry, the timestamps are all sorts of messed up in this.
No,
yeah,
you've done that to me.
Yeah, I've done that
You've
to you.
killed me.
They're all sorts of messed
You've
up.
You've literally murdered me live on video that we put out 3 days later.
Yeah. We are doing your D&D confessions and scandals.
Oh my god.
You guys really enjoyed this. I promise we will do a stream of these. I'm saving the real juicy ones for stream. So we can have a proper hoot and a holler on stream.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
These are all submissions apart from the last one, because I also asked this question on Reddit, and I you know what? This one was too good to not put in.
Too good?
This was too good to not put in.
That's what I want to hear.
So, all of them are submissions apart from the last one.
Nice.
Shall we get into it?
Let's do it, baby.
This has been sent in by Captain Hades, and she uses she, they pronouns.
Thank you very much, Captain Hades. Big stream enjoyer, Captain Hades.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a confession that I'm going to drag one of my fellow party members down with me.
Let's go. If we go down together.
Also, I shall take no accountability for how this is written for it as 2 a.m. Nah. Me and my husband had been talking about my character acquiring a dog in game, very specifically a German Shepherd named Jeremy. Is that a reference to something? I feel like that's a reference to something, but I can't put my finger on what. It might not be. So last session, I was waiting outside of a store for my party to finish up with their purchases when the bestest boy himself approached.
Jeremy?
I got him all cleaned up and healed up. He was a bit injured when he arrived. Well, suddenly, out of nowhere, his owner comes up and is like, hey, give me my dog back. Poor Jeremy was cowering behind me. So I was like, not a chance in hell. The dude wouldn't back off. So as a group, we collectively decided to throw hands. So fair.
Oh my god.
So fair.
If there's anything I'd throw hands over in
Jeremy.
life, it's my dog.
Oh god. Oh, absolutely.
If anyone did anything to my dog, it's prison for me.
It's you're dead on arrival.
It's life sentence.
Yeah. We decided to throw hands. I rolled to punch him using a shocking grasp, and I rolled really low.
No.
I don't remember exactly what number it was. I was about to sigh and be like, well, I guess I miss.
Oh.
When my lovely friend, Annika, slyly moved the dice to a 19, as if to encourage me to fudge my roll just a smidge. So I got to successfully punch the dog abuser in the face and electrocute him a bit.
100%.
We all quickly knocked him unconscious and dragged him into an alley. The surrounding townspeople cheered, and our reputation went up. All in all, I think it was a net win, and it is the only time I have ever fudged my dice as a player. Hey.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey,
if there's
listen.
any time that you should fudge your dice, it's for an animal.
It's to punch the dog abuser. Let's be so honest with you.
If there's any time that I think the violence is acceptable, it's when somebody's done something like that to a dog.
I love the fact that the townspeople were like, "Yay!
Yeah!
Yay!
I hate that guy!
This piece of shit.
He abuses the dog. Kill him!"
and I know. Listen, fudging dice rolls as a player, yeah. However, for Jeremy,
the thing is as well, it was all of you on this one guy.
Yeah, listen, this one dude not making it out.
This guy,
let's be honest.
It's over for this guy. It's absolutely over for this guy.
It might as well have never started for this guy.
Yeah, this guy is dead. Like, it doesn't matter who did it or what order happened or if
over.
If this shocking grasp hit or not, this guy's dead. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
There's sometimes where I'm just like, where it's so over for me, I'm just like, just tell me what you want to do. It's like, it doesn't matter. You don't need to roll. I'm not going to make it out alive.
Oh, I hope your group, Annika, I hope you live a very happy life with Jeremy.
With Big Jeremy.
Big Jez.
Big
Jezza.
Big Jezza.
Big Jezza. Yeah.
Jeremy the German Shepherd.
Hey, Captain Hades, I don't blame you for that at all.
No, I don't blame you for that
I don't blame you for that.
Hey, there's
at all.
There's specific times in game where I wouldn't mind. And that's it. I do not endorse fudging your dice rolls.
The fact that the DM had the townspeople cheer as well.
Yeah, woo!
Yeah, you did the right thing. All right, this next one. This has been sent in by Anonymous, and the title is "Forgive Me, for I have sinned."
Well, we'll see. I might potentially forgive you. It depends if there's a dog involved.
My very first character in D&D was a druid, and no one explained to me the concept of prepared spells. So I absolutely used the entire spell list for the whole campaign, and no one pulled me up on it.
Oh my god.
Perhaps even a greater sin. I totally broke the game because I had no idea about the etiquette of summoning spells. So my Circle of Shepherd Druid would, on the regular, summon 8 constrictor snakes, which can collectively do 8d8 plus 16 magical damage, even more with a higher level ability, and grapple up to 8 targets per turn.
Yep.
I cannot stress enough. I was not power gaming. I wanted to play a druidic witchy snake woman and just fell into doing 8d8 plus 16 damage per turn at level 5 by sheer dumb luck.
That's the way it is. That's the way the game's designed or was designed.
The power of a new player who has no idea what they're doing and confidently doing the wrong thing is unmatched.
The thing is, it's like if you can grapple the action economy and understand that, hey, one thing doing 2d8 or 8 things doing 1d8. Like, if you can just grapple the concept of how the action economy is just so strong, but understand that, maybe table etiquette frowns upon that a little bit.
Totally.
Like, this thing, it's absolutely fucking broken. And everyone's always just like, man, why has everyone got such a problem with summoning spells? Yeah,
and by the way, Anonymous, I very much understand. You had no fucking idea. What you
I
were
don't
doing.
blame you at all. Like, this, the thing is just like, everyone's like, oh yeah, 5th level, I get Fireball. And it's like, yeah, Fireball's cool and that, but what about instead of doing 8d6, you did 8d8 with a chance of constricting and grappling?
8
and
targets.
Also, unless they have AoE, they're going to have to take them down one by one.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
I'm so glad they changed it in the new player's handbook because it was so broken.
Yeah.
But also, look, spellcasting's complicated.
Listen, spellcasting is complicated. A 5e druid, complicated.
Man, you must have had every spell for the perfect moment.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm going to cast this. And your Dungeon Master was like, nice.
Oh, nice. And
nice
you know
what? Planning, nice thinking ahead.
And again, the thing is, especially if you were all new and the DM also didn't know, I can very much see how this would go. And even then, right, it's not up to the DM to vet your spells and vet everything that you do, right? They couldn't possibly.
We make these mistakes.
There's too many things going on.
We make these mistakes.
But I just love the idea of the DM being like, oh,
man.
I
remember
druids
like,
are strong.
And people don't, I feel like people don't understand how strong it is until something like, what's that spell that doesn't allow you to have your hit point maximum reduced?
Oh gosh, no idea.
I can't remember what it is. Or a vitality or something like that. And then you go up against like a shadow or a wraith or something like that, or a vampire that reduces your maximum hit points. It's just like that most deadly mechanic has now just been completely negated because you had the right spell. Now imagine you didn't realize that you weren't allowed to pick every spell, and you're like, hey, this spell's perfect, I'll just use that.
And again, if you can prepare them every day, if that's again though,
or something something curses you and you've got to remove curse.
And like again, prepared spell casting, especially for your first character, it's hard to get your head around because then you have a certain amount of spells you can prepare, but then you only have a certain amount of spell slots and you can change them out every day if you want to, especially if you're looking at the whole spell list.
Man, the only way this would have been even more broken is if you were playing a wizard.
But the thing is, the table etiquette thing of like not summoning 8 summons.
Not knowing that 8 summons is
that's
annoying.
one of those, like, it's like one of the unspoken things, right? It's unspoken. Like, I'm sure even people listening to this are like, oh God, is it bad etiquette?
It's not bad etiquette. You just got to clear it with everyone, because the thing is, if you are like, hey, I'm going to put 8 snakes on the board, then that's 8 minis that the Dungeon Master has to put into the VTT. Or put actually physically on the board.
Yeah, if they have to roll their own initiative as well. If you don't roll that, they just go after you in your turn.
They all roll their own initiative, and then you got to keep count of every single one where its initiative is, what its HP is, and then all of them have to roll. Like, you know how long it takes to, it's like you roll, okay, what am I adding? Okay, now I have to roll the damage. It's this much damage. That's 1. Now I need to do 7
I need to roll to hit,
more.
and then you need to make the save against the constrict.
Yeah,
and
or the poison or something.
Oh my gosh, it's such a huge.
It just slows combat down to an absolute crawl.
But again, you would not know that.
You would know that.
You would have no idea
you wouldn't understand
about
that if it was
that.
the first time of playing.
Absolutely not. Even if you've never come up against a summoner.
Yeah.
Right? If you've never played with something that summons things. I played a Circle Druid, is a shepherd of the Circle Shepherd Druid, a Circle Druid, for my second ever character.
Yes, you did, yeah.
And she only ever summoned 2 things at a time.
It was like 2 bears.
But goodness gracious me, when she did, it still added so much. Granted, we only had 3 players at the time,
so it wasn't
as bad.
But it's not that it slowed it down, but it does add to combat.
It adds time to combat. It really does.
You know, that means if they surround enemies, the Dungeon Master wants to leave, they're going to then take 8 attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
Or probably maximum what? No, yeah, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could do exactly 8. If something took up 1 space, a medium creature, you could completely surround it.
Yeah.
They couldn't leave because you can't pass through enemy spaces, so they're locked down.
Yeah.
And if whatever chance they could fly, if they try to fly away, they take 8 attacks of opportunity.
Yeah. And again, but the thing is, you know what? I just had a great thought for a video essay topic. I say video essay. Like, where do you learn D&D etiquette?
Where do you learn
Where does
it?
that come from?
Because
where does the social
a lot
aspect?
of people
where do you
will not
learn?
afford you the etiquette at the table.
Yeah.
That'd be too late.
Totally.
Like, you've done something wrong.
But do you learn only through bad experiences?
Probably,
do you learn from hearing other people's experiences?
Yeah.
Interesting thought, but Anonymous, listen. Listen.
Listen. Did you break the game with your first ever build?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Hey, yeah, maybe.
Was it almost completely by accident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe you.
But
I truly believe you when you say I was not trying to power game. I just fell into it.
This is it. It's like you obviously have a good understanding of the game for the first ever time you played it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, I think.
Insanity.
Oh.
Thank you for your submission, Anonymous. All right, this next one has been sent in by larknessmonster, and she uses she/her pronouns.
Larkness.
There have been several NPCs just made up on the fly that ended up needing to contribute to combat. But since I literally just made them up, I didn't have a character sheet or stats. The goblin butler the party latched onto and insisted traveled with them. Yeah, he became a druid to cast Entangle in order to avoid a very stupid TPK. The gnome they tapped on the shoulder in the market, whose only purpose was to provide transportation. Yeah, he's an artificer and has some fucking weird machine in the back of his wagon. I don't know what it does. But it did things because the players turned to him during combat and asked him for help.
And needed him, yeah.
I've literally made up spells and effects on the spot because it either made things interesting or felt necessary for some reason. While it works, it also sucks because my players are like, I want that spell. Me too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Me too.
Let me just write that down. I've done this a few times when I haven't been able to think about what subclass I want somebody to be because I know what most subclasses in the game do.
Yeah.
I'll just put them in as a wizard, or I'll just put them in as a cleric, or I'll just put them in as a bard. And then when it comes to the moment where I need the subclass, I'll be like, hey, they use their subclass ability.
And we're like, woo!
Important.
Yeah.
That's what I did with that NPC. Yeah. I waited till the moment I needed something to happen, and then I was like, okay, that's the subclass.
And you know what? Especially with that NPC who was a wizard, we were like, do they have this spell prepared? And you were like, yep.
Well, unless it was something wildly obscure.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, if it's just like, hey, do they have telekinesis? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, do they have...
It's not a wild spell for them to have picked.
Do they have haste? Do they have...
I would pick
Dimension Door.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Those are things that I would just, like, know I love those spells, so I'm going to put them on my NPCs if they're able to cast a lot of spells. So yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it too.
I honestly, I think this is a very common thing. I don't know.
I haven't made up spells.
No.
I haven't like made up spells and just been like, hey, this spell just does this really specific thing.
But there's times where as a dungeon master, your players get attached to literally the goblin butler.
Yeah.
And they're not going to let the goblin butler go. And then things are going to go awry and they expect something of the goblin butler.
And then turns out the goblin butler is an absolute machine in combat. Is an absolute weapon.
I don't think there's anything wrong. The examples you gave here, larknessmonster, he became a druid to cast Entangle in order to avoid a very stupid TPK. Like, Margaret, personally don't see anything wrong with that. I do understand there would be people who would be like, my immersion. Because, I think a lot of players don't like if they think they've seen behind the curtain. They don't like it. I understand. I understand how that could break your immersion. And if they were like, oh, you obviously just did that. I get it. But me as a player, that doesn't bother me.
Nah, it doesn't bother me either. It just like, the thing is, I'd never know. Like, I just never know.
Yeah, same.
Like,
I would
unless
never know.
my dungeon master told me, like that was the case. It's just like, they're a druid, and they've got Entangle. Like, why don't they?
Yeah.
Like, Entangle's a great spell.
Yeah.
And a lot of druids like to take it.
Yeah.
And that's what they had. Like, unless I didn't know that wasn't the case, I would be very surprised knowing that you'd made it up on the spot.
Yeah.
You hadn't been able to show anything up until this point that would make me believe otherwise that they weren't a druid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I very much understand immersion is a huge thing for players. So I get it. But it wouldn't bother me personally.
No, I wouldn't.
And the thing is, I actually think immersion is not one of the most important things to me. Actually, I've realized as a player, and through doing this podcast and hearing what people have said, and hearing what our friends have said, I realize immersion I don't mind. It's not something that really bothers me.
Like you say that, but I think our group is when we're in the role play, our group is really great at staying in character and doing one things that their character would do. And, same with my NPCs.
Yeah.
So I think maybe immersion's not a problem because we don't struggle to stay immersed.
Yeah, but even if someone asks, what's this NPC's name? And you go, I don't fucking know. That doesn't take me out of it. Well,
Yeah.
I very much understand how that would take some people out of it,
Yeah.
I get it. And I think even for some people, in terms of, now we're talking about immersion, even things like in combat where you're like, no, this person's going to do this to you because of X, Y, Z. I think actually some people would take that as immersion breaking as well.
Do you think?
I think they would.
I think that's immersion creating.
No,
the bad guy wants to do something because of they're reacting to something that's happened to them in combat.
Yeah, I think for some people it would, honestly. Yeah, I do.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. It would just not me.
Yeah,
But,
I like to explain like things that matter to my bad guys in combat.
Yeah.
Like you did a lot of damage to this like object, and like they're gonna come and attack you because it's important to them. Like like just saying those things out loud makes bad guys more believable.
Yeah.
Because they have a reason to be fighting. Oh, started setting fire to some of the family paintings and now that's really pissed them off.
Yeah,
so they're gonna do
yeah.
this thing. Do you know what I mean? Like that to me is immersion building.
I agree. But there's some players that don't like any talk of anything like that above table, right?
Yeah.
Which I respect that. I do.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could deal with that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
no.
I don't think I could do personally.
Yeah,
personally.
And it's things like one of the one times you gave us a riddle before you realized we are not
good at them.
We're not good at riddles.
Competent at riddles.
I'm not the Riddler.
Oh my god, she's the Riddler confirmed.
And you were like, "Do you guys need a hint? Like, let me give you a hint."
Yeah.
I think that would be immersion breaking for people.
But the thing
as well.
is, we've had this before. We've had this before where Dungeon Masters have spent 4 of the 5-hour session sitting there while their players don't figure out the puzzle or the riddle because they're so hellbent on not breaking immersion.
Yeah.
It's like, I would rather have fun
same
than sit there for 5 hours while you can't figure out a riddle that I thought you'd be able to do. Like,
do you want to tell them the riddle? Do you want to tell them?
I can't really remember it.
What
has forests
city...
but no trees, city but no people, rivers but no water? Tell me down in the comments if you got it.
We didn't get it. Just so you know,
they did not.
We didn't get it.
Yeah, they didn't get it.
We didn't. Hey, leave your answers below and don't Google it. Tell me.
Stop Googling it. Tell me down in the comments. You'll all get it. Easy.
You think?
Easy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a particularly hard riddle.
So. Abby got it immediately. The second you said it, Abby was like, "Oh, it's this," and we were like,
Abby wasn't in the group at this point.
No. And we were like, yeah, maybe actually. Sorry, don't know how we got there, but larknessmonster, yeah, I feel like a lot of DMs have done this.
Yeah.
I think honestly this just adds to it.
Yeah.
You said it here, like I think it makes it more interesting, and I agree, or it felt necessary. I agree.
Yeah, and the thing is, as long as at that point, right? Well, the goblin bartender is now a druid.
Yeah,
there you go.
Forevermore that
Doesn't
they're
matter.
a druid. We know that they're a druid.
Doesn't matter.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be interested to know what you guys think. Would something like this? The thing is, I don't think this would be immersion breaking at all. But
especially if you didn't know.
Yeah. Have you ever, as a DM, done this? And I actually want to know your opinions on immersion. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I
think you could talk about it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Really good talking about.
This next one. This is the penultimate. I feel like I've barely put any in this episode at all.
That's okay.
We'll see where we get to. This has been sent in by Anonymous, please.
Thank you, Anonymous, please.
They use any pronouns. The title is I fudged my death saving rolls so my character would die, and it became the group's favorite campaign event. We play online, but roll all of our dice manually, not digitally. We have all been big about trusting each other not to fudge dice, and it has never been a topic of concern.
Okay.
Our campaign had gotten stale after years of playing the same characters and the same story. The players just kept going through the motions, and the passion had clearly died out. Showing up was just part of a built habit. I was going through a spell of burnout and I just wanted something exciting to happen for once. Get my excited friends back and actually experience something instead of just walking from objective to objective. So during a random combat encounter, my character went down and sat on one death fail due to a magical attack. My turn was right after, so I pretended to roll a natural 1 when in fact I didn't. My character's death kicked everyone into action. Sobbing and crying, they finished up the combat and got to work trying to bring my character back, whilst the DM, also sobbing, started to dramatically narrate my fighter entering the afterlife, about to meet their loved ones. Their soul was put in front of a choice to move on or go back, as the rest of the group frantically scraped off enough materials to make the revival happen in time. They all chipped in with ideas and added emotional speeches to try and get my character to come back. Eventually, my fighter successfully returned from the dead and reunited with the party. Everyone celebrated, and the call was hyper alive for the rest of the night. To this day, they note this session as one of their favorite events in our now concluded campaign. And only I will ever know that it was thanks to a fudged dice roll.
To me, I think fudging rolls only counts when you succeed when you fail.
Yes, I agree.
When you want to fail something,
yeah.
like that's a new rule in the PHP.
Yes,
like
you can choose to
you
fail.
can choose to fail.
Yeah.
And you chose to fail.
Yeah.
You chose to critically fail.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't see a problem with that at all.
Yeah, and we've very briefly, and I think quite a long time ago, had this conversation on the podcast before of like, you shouldn't fudge dice as a player to succeed, but the other way around.
Yeah.
I think it's okay, especially for drama, as long as you're not doing it to be fucking annoying.
Yeah,
and you're not doing it to
troll the party.
Yeah, to make a problem.
Yeah,
to steer
to make combats harder or something
yeah,
like
because
that.
you're sulking or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, but I think honestly,
But I guess this has made the combat harder because they're not getting up. So I guess it is making it technically harder, unless the combat was an absolute given at this point.
Yeah.
And then you failed. Look. And sometimes games can get a little stale if the Dungeon Master doesn't want to like break from that. Hey, we've got to go here, then we've got to go here, then we've got to go here to get to this point.
Yeah.
Like if you can't break that rigidity, like sometimes you do need something to happen to spice the game up.
Yeah, you need a shake up.
You need a little shake up.
Yeah.
And I think do you want to know what the thing is with this? I think you got out of it exactly what you wanted.
Well, yeah.
Which was everyone was hyped. Everyone was like worried, and like it's a memorable moment. Like we all have those moments in all of our games.
Totally.
Every single game that we've played, all 3 of our campaigns,
Totally.
we have those moments that we will just never forget.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they were just either epic, they were sad, they were close, they were like terrifying.
Yeah.
There was something about it that makes it stick out to you. And you'll just be like, man, do you remember when we did that? Do you remember when we did this thing? Do you remember when that happened?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those moments.
And obviously, this is one of those moments.
And I think as well, sorry.
No.
I think as well, I think a lot of people are really scared of death.
Yeah.
Until something like that happens in the party.
I agree.
And then they go, like, that's really added weight. That's really added another dynamic to the game. So there's a lot of people who are like, no death for me.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Like, I hate it and I don't want it. And then they see what it can do to a campaign. It's like, I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But they can see what, like, gravitas it
Totally.
adds
How
to
it
a game.
how it changes it. Yeah.
And then they go, maybe I would be okay with my character, like, dying.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with me.
It is what happened with you. It's exactly what happened with you.
That's exactly what happened with me. We, as you know, Josh's first character in our campaign, Avalo, he did die,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like in combat. It was his own choice. He sacrificed himself to give his wife her life
chance
back.
at life. Yeah.
Yeah, and that very much shaped, especially for my character Blythe. It shaped everything for Blythe. It changed everything for her. It was something that it was a huge
It was a turning point.
pivotal point.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give any spoilers, but there is something there. We did lose another person in the last session of the campaign. we did lose someone,
Mm.
and that made it, and that also was tragically sad, but
Extremely poetic at the same time.
extremely poetic. Yeah, and it's changed my opinion on it. Now, would I still want my character to die? I don't know. It would depend, honestly, where in the story and their journey that they were. You know?
I agree. I think, dying maybe too early it's not built up the weight at that point for it to feel satisfying when they go. Like, you want there to have been maybe a conclusion in their backstory, or maybe they've like come to a turning point in the backstory, or they've done enough where if they died, it wouldn't be like, man, that was just a waste.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but that is also the way that the game goes, in my opinion. Like, yes, it's extremely deadly early,
Yes.
but that's usually if you get into a bad situation.
Yeah.
Whereas the game does get far deadlier later, but you have ways to deal with it. And
yeah.
it's as a dungeon master, it's finding ways to have them have enough opportunities for them to deal with it. But if it becomes too much, then somebody might die.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think for me, I am not how I used to be. I used to be like, I never want my characters to die, full stop. I think there's caveats to that now. And I genuinely think I wouldn't know until the moment came. And I
agree.
And I decided to either sacrifice my character. My character cares so much for something that's going on in the moment. They sacrifice themselves. I wouldn't know till it happened. I wouldn't know till the moment.
Yeah.
You know? It's like Josh didn't know till the moment.
Yeah. Josh didn't know till the moment. That was literally a split decision, like, in the moment for him, and I had to, like, stop the game.
Yeah.
I didn't have to stop the game, but I just turned to him and I just said, like, you understand
what's going to happen.
What this means for Avalor.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I think you don't know until the moment, really.
Yeah, I think you don't know, because the thing is, it's like, Josh didn't realize the gravitas of the situation that his wife was in until that moment where he saw her.
Yes.
And then when, I set you guys on the task, he was like, I can't. I can't
leave her.
Like, I have
Avalor,
to.
Avalor couldn't leave her.
I have to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think to me, fudging a dice roll, as long as you're not trolling your party, let's just say as long as the combat's over, and they aren't going to be in like grave danger if they were to lose you mid-fight or something like that. If it was towards the end of the fight's probably over, but the death save is up, and you want to shake it up. Maybe you don't like this character. Maybe you want a different character or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you think that this is actually a better way for your character to go
Totally.
than to reach the end of the campaign.
Yeah,
They've done everything they want.
totally.
They've got nothing else to live for.
Yeah.
You roll it, it adds a bit of gravity to the campaign. It adds a bit of reality to the campaign.
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, and as Jack said, in D&D 2024, the new player's handbook, you can choose to fail a save.
Just choose. I know that a lot of people have used it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think
it's an actual official thing.
A death saving throw is a saving throw.
Yeah, indeed.
So you can choose to fail it if you want to.
You can, yeah. And I think, especially, it's hard because when a campaign gets stale like that, like it should be a moment where you can all have a conversation with the DM and go forward. But yeah, I think,
but if this shook it up and you didn't have to do any of that, then I guess job done.
Yeah, I agree. What's your opinion on either like fudging a roll to fail it for a specific reason, or just choosing to fail?
Well, this is the thing. You just chose to critically fail.
Yeah,
You didn't fudge it. You just chose to critically fail. That's the thing. You can't like in the game. You can't choose to succeed because that would be fucking literally pointless.
Yeah,
but you can choose to fail for narrative reasons.
Although I suppose there is a difference, in my opinion, between someone going, "No, I choose to fail," and then someone rolling the dice and then saying, "Oh no, I got a 1." For some reason, there's a difference to me.
But is it because
maybe it's just an outward statement?
So do you know when you can't decide what you want for tea?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's 2 options.
Yeah.
You got fried chicken.
Yeah.
You got fish and chips.
Yeah.
You're like, let's flip a coin. You flip a coin, it lands on fried chicken, and you're like, I want fish and chips.
Yeah.
It's like the decision forced the other decision.
Yeah.
So it's just like you succeeding almost in your head triggered that response to be like, I want to fail.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you thought that truly
Yeah.
until you saw the success.
Yeah.
Or till you saw the fact that you weren't going to die and somebody's just going to be able to get you up.
Yeah. See, I think more so the announcement of hearing someone say, "Can I choose to fail?" I think prepares everyone. Whereas I think fudging the roll and going, I rolled a 1 makes everyone go,
agree.
I think it's more dramatic. Well, no, I think they're both equally dramatic.
I completely agree.
You know? But like, again, maybe that's the difference, right? Of being like, of fudging it and then it's all drama, you know?
It's all drama.
It's all the drama,
I agree,
regardless.
I agree.
It's all drama.
Somebody being like, I choose to fail.
Yeah.
And somebody being like, I rolled a natty 1.
Yeah.
The natty 1 has everyone
shocking,
go
shocking, scared, terrified.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
The announcement makes people. I think it would make me go, "What do you have planned?"
Yeah,
you know, or what are you doing?
Yeah,
you know,
like why? Like I want to get in your head.
Yeah,
like, why
yeah,
have you
yeah,
chose to fail?
And to be honest, I don't think I have a point to make after that. I just think that there's a difference, and I can't vocalize why I think there is.
I completely agree. I completely agree that they're different.
Yeah.
I think it's honest. I think it's honestly because of chance.
I think so.
I think when you roll and it is, you know, when you're on one failed death save, when you're rolling that dice, the last thing you want to see is a natural 1 because that means you die.
Yeah.
So when you roll the natural 1, it's like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, I actually can't.
It's
fathom
out of your hands.
The fact that this is fucking happened.
Yeah, totally, completely out of your hands.
Which is why we love D&D.
I think you're right. I think it's fate and choice.
Yeah, fate and choice are two different things.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. Can you see my bear, by the way?
Oh,
she's my bear.
Pandora.
Her name's Pandora. She's my baby bear.
The name of your WoW character?
Yeah, I've had her since I was a little baby.
Little bambino?
Yeah. Don't know if you can see her. She's very sweet.
I think you can.
Thank you for your submission, Anonymous.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really good one.
All right, this is the last one. Yeah, to be honest, we're probably on time.
Yeah,
we're probably on time. I keep hearing a noise. Is it the lo-fi?
It's the lo-fi.
I see. It is the lo-fi, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want fish and chips now.
Oh,
I want some fish and chips now, don't I? Yeah,
do you want some fish and chips?
Yeah, I do. Fish and chips for lunch. Fish and chips for lunch.
Oh, might have a little fish and chips then if that's what I'm...
We'll have fish and chips for lunch.
Yeah.
Let's.
You had a big...
Okay, go!
You had a big cry and I feel bad for you.
Oh, no.
So you get fish and chips for lunch.
Let's go. It's all it takes, ladies.
Yeah, there you go. Look, we're looking on the right side now.
All right, this one is this is from the Reddit. This is a Reddit post.
Let's go.
I usually don't go to great lengths, but once I made a decision that I thought I never would to avoid an early TPK. The party was being chased by a huge monster that was obviously too powerful for them to fight.
Yeah.
This is a tactic that I use occasionally for tension and to force players out of a kill 'em all mentality when they start getting big heads.
I like that.
Yeah, I get it. I do.
Sometimes them going up against a monster that is just beyond them gives them a reality check.
Totally.
And lets them know it's like, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
I don't like to do it in terms of like, I'm going to lock you in a room and like, it's me or you.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a chase. You have more than multiple opportunities to get away. Yeah. But you need to run.
Yeah. And I think it's good to show your party that they can run.
Yeah.
And that sometimes they should run.
Yeah, they should.
I agree. In this particular encounter, they made a mistake and got screwed up with directions in the dungeon. It ended up coming down to one player casting one spell, and the saving throw for that spell would single-handedly determine if the game ends tonight.
Uh-oh.
The monster needed to roll a 1 to 4 to fail, and I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, God.
I looked at the dice, and before I could even stop myself, I proclaimed the seemingly impossible. The monster rolled a nat 1! Your spell works! They were screaming with excitement and escaped by the skin of their teeth to continue the adventure for many more sessions. I am very rare to fudge dice, and I almost exclusively do it for attacks and damage, so my own bad luck doesn't ruin a boss fight unless I'm using averages that night.
Totally fair.
I have never fudged something that important before or after that night.
Do you remember earlier in this podcast when I was like, there's those moments?
Yes.
That moment where you cast that spell and the monster needed to roll a 1 to 4 and they rolled a natural 1.
Yep.
If you're listening, I'm winking at the camera. They'll remember that forever.
I completely agree.
They'll remember that moment.
I completely agree.
Ever.
And like again, there's the whole the whole community I feel is split on this if a DM should fudge their rolls or not.
So I think what I think we should do. Hey, I'm gonna put out a new movement
Oh my goodness.
right now.
Oh my gosh.
We all sit here on the internet,
Yeah.
me included,
Yeah.
and I say this is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
This is the right thing
Yeah.
to do. This is what you should do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I follow this. I follow that. I don't think we should fudge. I only fudge. I don't fucking whatever it is. Here we go. Why don't you just do what feels right in the moment?
I completely agree.
If in that moment you had TPK'd them because you stuck to your guns and I never fudge dice rolls, it's cringe as fuck, whatever.
Yeah, the dice of gods, etc.
The dice of gods, would you have felt good? Probably not.
Yeah.
Because
Unless, yeah.
You wanted to fudge it.
Yeah,
So why don't we just do
totally.
what feels right to us in the moment?
Yeah.
What we think is the best narratively.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, yeah, maybe the right thing to do was to fucking TPK them.
Yeah.
Fine, do it. If
and
that's
again,
that's what makes you and your group feel good,
that's
fine.
exactly what I was going to say. Unless you think the TPK, unless everyone's like, yeah, sure. Unless everyone's like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
And you as the DM don't care, then yeah, TPKing the party would have been the right thing to do. I completely agree. I think in D&D, there isn't a binary. There isn't a, you do
What's
this,
wrong? There's not a
you
special
do
sauce.
that. There isn't.
There's no special sauce. We talk about this special sauce all the time.
There's no one situation that is ever the same because no one person is ever the same.
No.
And you get a group of different people together, everything's going to be changed. Everything's going to be a variant there's no one path.
There's no one
hoop.
situation that's ever the same, no matter what. It's like you could be in the same dungeon with the same monster, with the same composition of party, with the same number of party members, but they're all different people to the people you ran it for before.
Yeah.
It'll be completely different.
All with a different
because
vibe.
Everyone is at a different point in their life,
Yeah.
emotionally different. Everything is just different. But if you looked at that table at that point and you were like, well, I'm not going to fudge, but then you looked at them and they were all devastated.
Totally.
They were all hoping and they were all praying and they were all waiting for you to say the number that you rolled on that dice. And if you'd have said 20, they'd have all gone,
Yeah.
but you said 20 and they were hooting.
You said one, yeah.
You said one. They were hooting. They were hollering. They were up. They were screaming because they had a good time at D&D. Now,
exactly.
that's the most important thing.
I completely agree. The fact that OP says they were screaming with excitement, that says everything.
It's like you are a fucking great dungeon master.
And it doesn't matter what our opinion is. It certainly doesn't matter what anyone's opinion is, apart from the group.
Are they up on their feet having a fucking good time because they're buzzing that something happens?
Why do we play D&D?
Then you're running a sick session.
I agree.
Who gives a fuck if you fudge the dice or not? Who gives a fuck that, like, oh, I've never done it before, but I only did it for this moment? Who gives a fuck what some fucking boring Andy on the internet has to say about your fucking fudge of dice roll? Your party had a great time. That's what matters.
And I think, again, this very much shows you just don't know until you're there.
You just don't know.
OP, by their own admission, I never thought I would do this.
I never thought I would do it.
I never foresaw this. I rolled the dice and the words just came out
because
before
you knew that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, you were intuitive and you understood. And you know, the thing is, I think one of the big arguments for not fudging the rolls is, well, then it's not truly authentic. And it's like, hey, nothing's truly authentic.
Nothing's truly authentic.
Like, hey, this is scripted.
Yeah,
like, this is a scripted episode that I've put together and I've reread all of them and I've picked the things that do the best.
You're planning your sessions.
Yeah.
That's not authentic because you're planning beforehand.
You watch a book. You read
you read a book. You get
You
inspired.
watch a book. You read a book. You watch a movie.
You
Listen to a song.
pre-planned things ahead of time.
Yeah.
You're running a module. It's just like you've been influenced by your TV show.
Yeah.
You think that this bad guy actually should do this because of that thing that you watch midweek. It's like nothing's truly authentic. But the thing is, as long as I'm having a good time,
doesn't mean it's not fun.
Doesn't mean it's not fun.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, why do we have to put things above fun because that's what we think we should do? Why don't we just have fucking fun?
Yeah, I completely agree. Well said. Well said.
Well said, you too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think OP did the right thing
100%.
for their table, and it could have been so different for so many other people. But that's it. Being a DM, again, another thing that I just don't think is told enough. And I will say the new DMG does touch on these things a little bit more. Is as a DM, you are intuitive, you are reactive. You have to make snap decisions
you do.
that benefit you and the party.
Yeah.
That make sense, that are fun.
Yeah.
And that's something that is.
And that's the thing. It's just like, you run a boss, and it's at the end of this dungeon, and you feel like you've taken enough of their resources, and it's gonna be a test. He's having a big dream.
He is dreaming. By
He's
the
having
way.
a big dream. He's having a woof, woof, woof,
Little feet.
You come to the end of the dungeon. They're hyped for it. They've been chasing this bad guy for ages, and you've burnt a bunch of their resources. And it's going to be a test. It's going to be an actual test. And then you get in there, and the paladin smites them 4 times, and it's all natural 20s, and the wizard's fucking spell gets off, and it's all going horribly wrong. You fudging a few dice rolls to make that experience more tense, more of a fight, to live up to what that bad guy truly should be, is the right thing to do, over than like, oh, I'm just rolling like shit. It's just not going to be a test. It's like, that doesn't feel good.
I agree. I very, very much agree. And you know what? Your players, they're never going to know.
They're never going to know.
Never going to know.
It's like, if you are fudging it to make it more difficult, I do think you draw a hard line at killing anyone.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, you should never cheat to kill someone.
Yes.
But you definitely should cheat a little bit as a dungeon master to make it exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Your players are not going to know. They're simply not. And, you know, if for whatever reason they do, they don't. They don't know.
They don't. They'll never know because they don't know what's behind the screen.
Yeah, they simply don't know.
No, they don't.
So yeah, I think I think well done, OP. I think
big time. Well done. Well done, you.
And even if it was the other way around and they were like, no, the TPK is what should have happened. Well done, because you need to do what's best for your table.
You need to do what's right for your table and the players at the table.
And I think the last thing I want to say on that is, as a DM, you put so much work into a world. You put so much work into a session. If this is about to happen and the only reason you don't want to TPK is because you don't want to throw away all of your hard work, that's okay as well.
That's okay as well.
It really is.
It is.
In my opinion, I know that.
Of course it is.
I don't speak for everyone, obviously.
Nobody else can tell you it's not because it's your game.
Yeah, I agree. Once again, I would be interested to know what your opinions are on that.
I love it.
What do you think? Do you think it's okay to fudge a dice roll for something like a TPK, for anything, as long as it's the benefit of the game?
As long as it's for the benefit of the game.
Everyone's enjoying it, you know?
Or you're beating the shit out of a dog abuser.
Yeah, let me know.
Oh, they were a lot of fun.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun.
They were good talking points and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was worried I didn't have enough, but no, I think I did.
But what,
actually.
we yapped?
Yeah, we did yap. Hey, we yapped. Yeah, there's one thing we're gonna do. It's yap.
It's yapping. Hey, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I couldn't be the full energy in the beginning. I feel like I warmed into it.
You did, of course you did.
Thank you. And I hope you're okay, and I just hope that that brought you some sort of joy.
Yeah,
and took your mind off things a little bit.
And that's what this space will be for you.
Totally.
And that's what the stream will be for you, and that's what the Discord can be for you.
Yeah,
just a bunch of people who will take your mind off it and just let you know that it's not over.
Yeah, I can't implore you enough. If you're feeling maybe a little bit lonely, or you want something to take your mind off, we stream every Friday, every Sunday,
every other Tuesday.
It's
a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah,
it's a vibe.
Listen, we're all insane over there.
Yeah, we are insane.
But it's a really, really good time,
it's
and everyone looks out for each other. Everyone cares for each other. It's genuinely great fucking vibes.
Yeah, it's good.
Join
vibes.
us.
Join us.
Join us.
We aren't a cult.
Join us.
Also, if you want to check out the Pride collection, 10% of all proceeds go towards Heart Gables, a local LGBTQIA plus charity in the northeast to us. 10% of anything that you buy in that collection goes there. So thank you so much to anyone who has bought them so far, who's considering buying them. The collection's not going anywhere. It's not limited time, so take your time if you need to save some money or whatever, or wait until you get paid. Totally fine.
Absolutely.
It's not going anywhere. It's going to be there forever. Make sure you come and check us out on Twitch on a Friday and a Sunday and every other Tuesday. Check out the Patreon if you want even more content on top of that.
Join us on Sunday the 24th of November, where we're going to have our friends Raina and Dave from Careful Cantrip on the live stream.
Can't wait for that. It's going to be good crack. I love you.
I love you. I do. He does. He's dreaming about you right now.
Loves you, yeah. We have been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Thursday. Bye.
And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities:
Hoobs,
Ariel,
Tula,
Runarian,
Arkham Labs Cosplay,
Maddie, Luna,
Teddysaurus,
Caspian, J-Spot,
Ultrafail,
Dallin M,
Sleepy,
Joe Dragonlord 2,
Alistar,
Lawkeeper Society,
Ricky B,
Danny Phantom,
Catherine,
Faustskin,
Azuriel,
Panda Queen Plays,
Xylo Boy,
Lucas Iapetus.
Luna River, Crestomancy,
The tacos are here.
Gavin.
Raynanana. Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.